Hello, Herkimer County. This is Michelle Hummel with the Herkimer County Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today with our executive producer. I gave him a promotion the last time, if you'll
Here we go.
recall.
Yeah.
Dave Warner. Hi, Dave.
Michelle, how you doing today?
Wonderfully.
Beautiful weather out there.
Oh, it is. It's unseasonably warm. I enjoy it very much. We're hanging on. I'm also here with Debbie Kessler, and Debbie is the newest member of the team over at Herkimer County. She is the Community Development Director. Hi, Dave. I was going to say hi, Dave, again.
Yeah.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Dave.
You got 2 D's today.
Yeah. Not enough coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm going back a little bit. So Deb, she's new to the county, and you're really integral. What you're doing is really going to be an amazing thing for our communities. A while back, the Herkimer County, in collaboration with many of the municipalities and along with the Community Foundation, pulled together and did a study on Herkimer County, just sort of, strengths, weaknesses, things of that nature. Where can we develop? What are the public needs? It was an assessment, and it was wonderful because they pulled in part of the business community. It was a whole steering committee, and out of that, they determined that we really could use a community development director to kind of hold everybody together, the business community, the local governments, so everyone knows what's going on. And I'm not quite sure about all of the details, so maybe you could explain exactly what you're doing over there.
Happy to. So out of about 2 years worth of work on this project, a community development strategic plan was created, and it was in conjunction with a consultant that all of these municipalities, as well as Herkimer County government and the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties, with their financial assistance, hired a consultant and who actually does this type of planning and incremental planning and development for a living. And they came up with this strategic plan. And then part of the plan was actually going and hiring somebody to be the liaison between the municipalities, the community, businesses, business organizations.
That was fun.
And
Gravity.
and basically to steer ahead the strategic plan going forward. You had a little bit of a my mic fell, so sorry about
It's
that.
okay. That was a first. We have a lot of firsts here, and usually
It's a mic drop.
Usually it's caused by me.
Yeah.
So don't sweat it.
So yeah, the role is actually to serve as a catalyst for all these different entities, whether it be government, whether it be community organizations, and just try to keep everybody working together for the betterment of the community and the county.
Mm-hmm. Communication is one of the biggest things you hear out there. We don't know, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, if you will. And it's not for lack of effort. I think it's just that we don't know what we don't know. So it's your role. This is really reducing it to the ridiculous in terms of interpretation, but your job is to be in the know and to make sure everybody else is too.
Exactly. And just to share information. And out of the plan, the slogan came about, it's happening in Herkimer County. And honestly, it really is happening here. There are a lot of things that we need to talk about. There are a lot of things that we should be proud of that are happening, from community perspective, from business and industry and all the different new businesses that are moving into the county and all the great events that we have here. So there really is a lot happening in Herkimer County that really needs to be talked about.
Mm-hmm. We are a little bit more of a rural community than Oneida County, for example, which is pretty obvious. And I do know that population has decreased in Herkimer County by about 10% over the last 40 years. Now that it was slight. It really moved down quite slightly, so you didn't notice it as it happened. But now when you kind of look back as a result of this study, you can see 10% is quite significant. So it's great that we can try to lay the groundwork to bring that back up in awareness.
From what the consultants that worked on creating the strategic plan have told me is that, obviously they've gone through this process numerous times. Having somebody in this role and working with their advisory committee and working with the local municipalities and community organizations will only help with such things as economic development going forward. It keeps everybody engaged in talking, and then it just is a ripple effect. So I'm only 4 weeks into the job, and already I'm doing a podcast with you.
Yes.
And we are launching our website. It's happening in herkimercounty.org. So we're just making some final changes onto it. We have a Facebook page, and we're really starting to move things forward. We actually have an advisory council that's going to serve as kind of a steering committee for this role going forward. So super excited about the many things that are happening.
That's great. Do you have any formal plans? For example, I'm involved in tons of community events and just different things, even partnering with Oneida County on occasion. And a lot of times I enter the room, especially when we're working in collaboration with Oneida County, and I look around and I say, where is Herkimer County here? And they often tell me, we've reached out, but we didn't have anybody want to participate, or maybe perhaps they just didn't have the time. So hopefully, I would hope, and one of the results of this is more interaction with other counties around us, and just more collaboration in general, and perhaps even you coming to the table.
Exactly. I mean, we're such a fine line between Herkimer and Oneida County, and we're all working together for the betterment. We have a lot of big businesses that are moving in here that are going to need to draw people from the various counties around them. I mean, it's just really important that we all work together for the betterment of these organizations that are going to be moving here, that are moving here.
Right. And one thing that's a really good point. So we've got Amazon, we've got Tractor Supply. There's just so many, and that we're continuing to grow. Fountainhead Group is coming into Herkimer County, and they're going to be opening their warehouse. Well, I believe they're already functioning a little bit, but we're talking grand opening at some point in the future with them. And the folks that they employ they may very well live in Oneida County, but hey, now they're working in Herkimer County, so they're going to be hearing and wanting to hear more about what's going on. Folks that are relocating to our area, especially this new website, what's happening in Herkimer County, can play an integral part of that we can hopefully steer people to.
And the nice thing about the website too is the functionality of it, where we're going to be inviting communities and different organizations. If you have an event going on, we're going to want that event put on our website in our calendar, so people can find maybe a central location of the things that are going on in Herkimer County.
And there's so much going on. That's the thing, getting out to talk to all those groups, and hopefully you can find a way perhaps to have the technology available. And for any legislator that's listening, I'm giving a plug here for Debbie, some technology that's available, maybe where other not-for-profits or other organizations could update their calendar and it automatically feeds into yours. I'm sure that there's some technology that needs to take place there, but that would be amazing. It's difficult to keep one community calendar. We do have a calendar on our chamber website, and we know it's only as good as who's reached out to us and told us, because we certainly can't call everybody to say, hey, what do you have going on this week? What do you have going on this week?
Exactly. And also, my position is going to be to help some of these community organizations who are trying to have events and so forth. If they need any assistance, by all means, they can reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions or, help them along with my experience and my knowledge of event planning and so forth. It's a great fit for me to be able to help the community.
Do you think the county will be throwing any other events or organizing events surrounding this?
So I know that working with the Herkimer Chamber of Commerce, we're going to actually launch our very first State of the County address, hopefully in early spring. I'm happy to be working with you on that initiative. I think it's important that we invite the business community in, as well as everybody else in our area that just would like to come in and find out the state of the county. And this is very exciting to have such an event that we're going to be working with the chamber on.
That's a natural progression. We have our legislative breakfast every February, but it only gives the leaders, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe to speak. So this will be good. Jim Bono can get up there and give a very detailed state of the county and be available for questions.
Exactly. I mean, when you bring your legislators in, you're talking on a state level, and this is just strictly Herkimer County. So it'll be nice to just hear what some of the great things that we have going on, and the budget and some of the initiatives of the county and any economic development and just planning in general going forward.
They've done a great job. The Herkimer County IDA is really they're slaying it, for lack of a better term.
Yes, they are.
And they're doing really well.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yep. And part of my role is actually going out and meeting with a lot of these different organizations. Like I've already met with the chamber and how we can work together. And now I'll be meeting with IDA. I'm meeting with a lot of the towns and villages and the city of Little Falls just to introduce myself, talk about the strategic plan and how we can work together, what their initiatives are, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, and just basically learn about some of their issues, as well as some of their wins as well. So
Great. And it's nice, you say the wins, and I like that very much, because I think part of this initiative and part of what maybe we've been lacking as a county is we need to take the time to pat ourselves on the back a little bit and celebrate some of the successes. We always hear about what's negative. We know the water in Ilion is not great, but what other great things are they doing? This Dufold property is going to be great. Chuck Schumer was just here last week. Elise Stefanik is going to be here for another reason tomorrow. To have these people, the congresswoman and the senator, it's just amazing that we're getting that kind of attention.
Exactly. And that's two important visitors within the last week in Herkimer County. That's amazing. We have a lot to be proud of. So you're right. It's the wins we need to just emphasize on.
Yeah. And let folks know about them and every chance we get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, on that note, I think we'll take a quick break and we will be back in about 1 minute.
Visit My Little Falls and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the city and the area. Our mission is to generate interest in the community and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our country music streaming radio station, or sign up for a weekly newsletter. Stop by today at mylittlefalls.com. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back, everybody. Thanks for staying with us over the break. I'm here with Debbie Kessler, and we were just talking about the wonderful things going on in Herkimer County and her new role here as the Community Development Director. So, one of the things I believe, and just so you folks know, if you want to take a look at the strategic plan, the gentleman's group that came in to do the analysis, there were other people too, but his name was Peter Fairweather, and really top notch. I met with him myself, and I was really impressed. That strategic plan is on the county's website. So if you wanted to go take a look, you could find it there. Even if you Googled Herkimer County community plan, I believe it comes up that way too. So it's 43 pages long. I will give you that. So it's pretty detailed, and there's a lot of great things in there to take a peek if you're interested in hearing more about what was uncovered during this analysis.
It's actually a really interesting read, Michelle. It's not, your specific type strategic plan where, somebody creates it and then it gets put on a bookshelf and nothing ever becomes of it. This is a solid plan that they put together, identifying a lot of the needs in our area, as well as a roadmap going forward as far as next steps going into 2023. Working with the different advisory board members and just basically building an effective community-wide partnership. So it does give detailed steps on how to go about this. So
and just also for anyone who's listening, I took the time to read it myself, and part of this strategic plan was to create and have a position like this filled in 2022. So again, that just goes to show the county did not just put it on a shelf. They're
No.
on track and they're paying attention.
Exactly. I mean, it might have been delayed a little bit because all this research and talking with different people in the county was all done during COVID.
Mhm.
So, once which made the whole process a little bit longer, a little bit more difficult because of the fact nobody was meeting in person.
Right.
So, the consultants had to do everything via Zoom, and there were certain circumstances where they had to meet with people. So it made it a little bit time consuming. It took a little bit longer dealing with everything that was happening with COVID. So we were delayed a little bit, but the plan is kind of right on track, indicating what we have to do for going forward with 2023.
Fantastic. How about some other things? I mean, do you have a plan of your own yet, or are you too new in the position? I know you just started. I mean, it feels like 5 minutes ago. So here I am. What do you got going on? And honestly, I want to know, how can I help you personally? Because being at the Chamber of Commerce, obviously, we have a lot of contacts. We've built a lot of relationships, and I'm looking at you as this wonderful ally that I've got now, sort of a partner that we'll be able to work on projects together. Are there any other initiatives or any other community members that you've spoken to that you can see perhaps an alliance forming?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not just meeting with all the towns and the villages in the city and all of the different municipalities, but it's the community organizations that are important. And then it's some identifying some key businesses in the community to meet with, some that are, really movers and shakers that want to see some great things happening. So it's important that I meet with them as well. So tomorrow I'm actually meeting with workforce development just to kind of
Mhm.
understand their initiatives and their goals, and maybe areas that I might be able to help with them with their mission.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover. Uh, Herkimer County is the longest county in all of New York State, and it is long.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's been a daunting task for even us as the chamber, the county chamber. It's difficult to be in two places at once. And I will say that this year it will probably be during winter or even March. I start looking at March as spring. I don't know. It's just wishful thinking, but we're actually going to be trying to hold a business after hours in Old Forge this year, where we're going to have a bus, and we're going to have people rally on the bus, and we're going to go up to the view and have a lovely business after hours up there. So we hope that you can participate in that as well. But we are making every effort to cover the entire county. And again, we can be allies of each other to try to
Exactly.
help accomplish that.
Exactly. And I would encourage a lot of our other municipalities to possibly take advantage of this. Maybe there's some that don't actually get a chance to go up to the north end of the county. And then, maybe we do something in the future down in the southern end of the county. There's just that we have so much here that we really can plan numerous trips,
Mhm.
discovery trips on different aspects of the county, whether it's north, south, east, or west. There's definitely a lot to see and do.
One of the other things that really jumped out at me as I read the report, there's an emphasis on vital villages and main streets in particular. So, Main Street has obviously been looked at for a long time here in Herkimer anyway. And it really with all the villages, because Main Street is so important. It's the one of the first things people see as they come into town. And I will say Launch Herkimer just did a cleanup on the 22nd. So for any of you folks who have been down Main Street in Herkimer, and it's been a rough go, obviously, for decades. So the problem didn't just occur overnight. It happened over a long period of time, which means it's going to take a long period of time to clean up. But I will say it looks good. All the windows are clean, and just what a difference that makes. So it's the county. I know the county has to focus on every single village, but are they trying to get involved down to the grassroots on specific main streets?
Well, certainly that's a part of my initiative to meet with the village mayor, the town mayor, and basically offer them any assistance that we could possibly give them, and just kind of get their feedback. And yes, Main Street has had some concerns. It seems like it's making its way back. You had a great business after hours there last week with a new business that opened up.
Oh, Mohawk Valley Community
Yes.
Market. They've actually been there for a little while, but I think everyone still thinks they're new because you think of it as Mungers.
Mhm.
You know, I wasn't even around when Mungers was there, but I catch myself referring to it as
Mhm.
Mungers because so many people do.
Mhm. Exactly. So, you hope that with all the different businesses opening up, that will hopefully spur small business development, and more for Main Street to kind of become operational. I mean, we just have to all work together, and see what avenues are out there to assist them and bringing Main Street back to what it used to be, or
Mhm. Or reinvent
invent
it.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I always say, let's just pick it up and move it. I mean, it's not that easy, of
Yeah.
course, but stranger things have happened, right?
Exactly. But it really, it is sad to see a lot of things deteriorate, but at the same time, it's also exciting to kind of try to bring it back and reinvent it, like you said. So, and by all means, look at the historical facts right downtown, with the Four Corners, and just a lot of history in that village.
Yeah, the historical society is, right around the corner there, and it's just, or right down the road. It's just there's a plethora of information
Hmm.
that's there, and you really could. I enjoy when they have those historic Four Corner tours, and especially around Halloween. Those are always interesting and fun to go. I urge anybody to spend a little time there. When you think you've given up on Main Street, attend something for the historical society. It's always very interesting.
Extremely,
Mhm.
extremely. And there's numerous books out there too that reference the different trials that took place in Herkimer County, and who was imprisoned at the jail, and just a lot of interesting history that took place in those Four Corners, right in the Four
Mhm.
Corners.
Absolutely. So if you could wave a wand, um, well, throw the job description out the window. If you could wave a wand, what do you think that if you look out 5 years from now, what would you like to have had happen? And probably put you on the spot with this, but
5 years from now.
yeah.
Um,
And you didn't win the lotto or any of those things. We're just in this position.
just that the position evolves into being more of just keeping the community and the county, um just collaborating, and good things come about. I mean, it's only been 4 weeks, and I already had a conversation with a company who wants to work closer with the college. So what did I do? I put the two parties together, and hopefully something evolves out of that. So it's collaboration, and it's just community wide development. And I think this position it's so exciting because it's kind of an entrepreneurial type position. There's nobody that's done it before me
Right.
here. So it's kind of like you learn as you go along, but at the same time, with my thoughts and my ideas and my knowledge, taking it to the next level on just a betterment. So hopefully, hopefully it's going to be a lot better than how I found it going forward.
Mhm.
And just I'm excited to be involved with this whole new initiative, because it really is happening in Herkimer County.
It is. You're right. And I think you've got a great team around you that are hoping to help lift you up, which
Mhm.
is a big piece of the battle, just trying to accomplish things.
Just from my observation of being in this role for about 4 weeks now, I have to tell the folks, and tell you as well, Michelle, we have a lot of legislators within the county that are just deserve a pat on the back. I mean, they really love the county, and they love their districts that they serve. So kudos to them for just the time that they put into it. And we forget these folks have everyday lives.
Right.
They have
And for other
jobs.
full-time jobs.
Exactly. So it really it's tough. I mean, they're getting calls all hours of the day, with people from their districts and so forth. And at the same time, they still have to keep in mind that this is an entire county. It's that just makes up all the different the districts make up the county. So
Mhm.
yeah, they really have a love for this area, and it really shows in their commitment, that just from working with them over the last month.
Yeah, that's great. What a great first impression.
Mhm.
And I have to agree with you too, from what I've seen. They're all very supportive of the chamber and they come to our events as well. And I think it's great. So, well, you know what? I want to thank you for coming on. And also, I want to tell our listeners that I'm going to be working closely with Deb on some different things. And she's going to help us get information about events that are happening in Herkimer County to you. So please certainly reach out to the county and let Debbie know if or set up a process. If you want to speak to her, you can always give us a call at the chamber and we will certainly put you in touch with her. And we're going to be doing a little segment each time to let you know what's happening in Herkimer County and give it a shot. Try that website. It's going to be growing as time goes on, of course. And we want to thank you for listening. And Deb, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was an absolute blast. And thank you so much, Dave. It was so nice to meet
Yeah.
you. And by all means, anyone has any questions or concerns or has any initiative, you can always reach me at dkessler@herkimercounty.org.
Absolutely. And thank you, everyone. Again, it's Michelle Hummel with the Herkimer County Chamber, and our number is 315-866-7820. Don't hesitate to reach out and become a member.